Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. So today we have Professor Sivakumar, who will present Graduation, the Romanian film, one of his favorites for the time being. Sivakumar, as you may know, is a professor of cinema. Thank you. Professor of cinema, he has been in LV Prasad Film and Television Institute and also the Loyola College in Chennai. Gives many classes, even now with many students required him to give classes, film classes. And he's a filmmaker also. And we are very happy to have his knowledge, and he's happy to share it. So, Professor, I give you the floor. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. This is my third visit to Aurofilm, if I am not incorrect. For Jean-Luc's sake, he requested me to speak slowly. Normally I speak a little faster, so he understands my English that way. Okay, it's a special evening for me. There are few films that you really love to talk about, share opinions about with others. This is one such film for me, a Graduation. Since first time when I saw 4 months, 3 weeks and 2 days in a international film festival where Christian Mingiu himself was present along with his main actor, Anna Maria. I met them both, had a long discussion. My God, what a film that was, 4 months, 3 weeks and 2 days. Then he was talking about the political scenario in Romania. Of course, here it's very strange talking about a European country among Europeans. I sometimes find it very difficult. Whenever I talk to Indian students, first thing I ask them is, what do you know about Romania? Where is it? Europe, someone will say. Which part of Europe? Western or Eastern? Oh, are there something like that? Oh no, Eastern Europe. And another unique thing about Romania is, Romania considered to be, someone may correct me, the poorest European country. And all the nomads, gypsies we see in other European countries mostly are from Romania. Even in Kieslowski's a short film about killing, two gypsy girl would be there at the glass when the killer is about to, he throws a cream on the pan. You will see two Romanian gypsies. Like that the references are there. And you all know this man, Christian, brought in a way Romanian cinema to the international map with his a Palme d'Or winner, 4 months, 3 weeks and 2 days. And after, you all know that was a result of his long research on, everyone was waiting for Nicolae Ceausescu, the ruler, the communist ruler, to be thrown out. When he was thrown out in 1989, the whole country celebrated for weeks. Normally I show a small video clip where he was really being shot. Within half an hour inquiry, they said, you made so many people to starve to death, death penalty. Very few were assembled. He was brought out and they were, both him and his wife. That was shot really. Still that clip is there in the YouTube. The head of the state was done when the small clip, very badly shot clip was broadcast. The whole country was celebrating it. What I'm saying, no, it's very, like the way she said, oh, it's true. But then what it tells about is the kind of, his tenure was a golden rule. Then really after that he also had a real liberty to make to make films that he wanted to make. He's a student from a Bucharest film school, and then immediately got a television series to make a series on Tales from Golden Age, because that's what Ceausescu was calling his tenure is a golden age for his people. But he went on researching how people suffered That's where there's a film, still, that film he made later, but one particular story he invented at the time, I mean, he discovered by two girls narrated to him. He also made abortion illegal for no reason. They were asking why, in what way politically he was gaining to make. Just add one more thing for his power, make abortion illegal. Because he made abortion illegal, how women suffered, girls suffered, how two girls had to pay a price that we can't even imagine to have their abortion done illegally. That's where he got, my God, I have to make this film first. He put aside his Tales from Golden Age, then he made that film, he brought Romanian cinema. Okay, that's a little backdrop. But this film, that was made in 2008, this is 2016, 8 years later. I mean, he has gone beyond the stethoscope, forget stethoscope. And how still the ghosts of dictators or the rotten society still persists in Romania. I think that's applicable to many countries. And he was interested on the question of corruption and the moral values. I think it's very much, I was so fascinated by this film. I find so much parallel, so many parallels to what's happening in India. Do we consider a person being corrupt? Is it a social issue or an individual issue? This question is always there. And also, how do we define corruption? Getting a little favor from someone for which you do something else? Can we call it a corrupt? In that level, is it called so this question really, really props into that. That way, it's a truly, you forget this is from Romania, there's a Romanian. All of us will relate to our own country, our own people, or our own lives at times. We were also trying to be, is nepotism is a corruption, doing something for someone because you like him or I do not know. But the same way, a man who is so principled man, how he pushes into that corner. For his daughter, he has to do something. And they were hating Romania. Then they all went back, they exiled their country. But when Ceausescu was thrown out, he and his wife came back, hoping that country will improve. But it's not improved. At least now he wants his daughter to get out of this country, do something, like we do that, something we could not achieve, we always want to achieve through our children. In a way, he wants his daughter to be exiled, not to live in that country, better go to UK, lead a life there. That doesn't mean UK is such a wonderful country, but still, they don't want to be in Romania. In that level, what happens? I'm not going to tell the story, be a spoiler, but the layers, very intricate layers this film has that really props into is corruption an individual issue or a social issue? That's what the films are. In fact, I remember when I was talking about this film to one of the scriptwriter, well-known Indian scriptwriter, many of you might not know, Apurva Asrani. He wrote scripts for all Ansal Mehta's film. Many Ansal Mehta's films scripted by him, including Aligarh. And initial Satya was editor. At the age of 20, he got the National Award for editing. Very interesting guy. He teaches script writing in many film schools also. He writes scripts. When he invited him for a workshop, then I brought him home. I was talking about this film. He saw my collection and said, "Where is there a shop I can buy a hard disk?" Yeah, there is some. Let's go out. And he bought a couple of beers and the hard disk. Come. By the time we are here, we finish the beer, you transfer at least 20 films for me. This was one film. I don't know. Luckily, he saw that film first. Immediately sent me an email saying that, my God, I visited film school again. What a master class this film was for me to learn how to sketch characters or how to write. Okay, finally, one thing, though you may not be a filmmakers, many of you, but still, but even when you write, a good reader, when he writes some author's work, they also love, apart from the content, the way he coined the sentences, the way he used the language. Similarly, he has his kind of a patterned style in his all his films, starting from 4 months. This is what I use this film for my students, to talk about the mise-en-scène. Mise-en-scène is nothing for me, the way you stage your shots in front of the camera, and for that how you organize the space, actors, other elements. And all his films, even in this film, most of his scenes are single takes. Oh, single shot, in fact. The whole scene will be a single shot. Very few scenes will have 3-4 shots. And even in a narrow space, you go to the pantry and go to the restroom, where you will have a drama for 2-3 minutes with the camera moving, actors moving. That many times you do not notice it. That's his style. That's an interesting to watch when you really watch. Then, of course, he concentrates so much on the sound design. Sound design is very, very important. He always says, I spend more time on my post-production, especially on sound design. You would find it wonderful. I mean, there's a film you should watch it second time to study the structure. That gives a great thrill if you're a film student. I stop at this point anyhow. After the film over, there are many things for us to talk, discuss, maybe. For me also to discover from some of you. Thank you. I mean, people, you can start reacting to it, the kind of layers it dealt with.
Very interesting and unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
Yeah.
Oh.
No? Thank you.
Oh, predictable in the sense? What did you predict?
Unpredictable, no? Like you don't know.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable.
Oh, I thought it's very interesting and predictable, I thought. So unpredictable. Okay. Oh my God, the language is... okay, fine. I understand. Yeah. I mean, if something we can predict, life is not interesting. Of course, how many of you felt sorry for Roman? I mean, did he ever feel for man, mother, wife, daughter, and then another woman? How he's torn between these four, and being a very honest man, in a way, very, very. And he's 50. I mean, 50 in the sense the character is supposed to be 50 years old, the midlife. Yes.
Well, I'm 50 years old, and
You are?
I'm 50.
Okay.
A little more. A little more.
Okay.
Yeah. One thought about Romeo. I think he is an honest man. He gets involved in those not very clear situations of corruption. You know, like helping. You need to help each other.
Yeah.
That's how they call it. Yeah. Because there are 2 points. What I think. So it's very obvious. I think we have all realized that he is trying to his daughter to live his dreams, because he thinks that what he should have done and he didn't, at least his daughter should do. So I think it's one mistakes. Well, that's what honestly he thinks. He's very honest in. I think he has this conviction. And at the same time, he tries his best. And what I see at the same time, and what I recognize, a common point, maybe not this, I hope not the same situations, not the same dramatic situations, is it's a very male, what I feel, challenge. He wants to control. He wants to control everybody.
Yeah.
His daughter, his wife, and the end is very optimistic because he understands, I think, that he can't.
He can't control anyone,
He
any
cannot
situation.
Yeah. Thank you.
And also at the end, the boy, that Andreas boy, and as well as his daughter, the way they react to him, and does the director say, I mean, we have to have hope on the younger generation. I think most of the filmmakers, when they deal with subject like this, even Satyajit Roy, his last film, Shoko Prashoka, if someone has seen that, again, how everyone in the family, like this, they go little corrupt, where the grandfather sees that all his sons becoming like that, he loses faith. And suddenly is one of the grandson react to that. Oh, no, I don't have to lose faith, I have to have faith in men, humans. If someone had seen it, studied that film, it's a very theatrical kind of a film. Not many people loved that film because they want, Satyajit Ray means very lyrical shots. His last 3 films are just like a little glorified television serial, but very deep human values were discussed in that film. I mean, this is highly cinematic, but how many of you noticed that most of the scenes were a kind of single shots? 80% of the scenes are of single shot. One, sometimes 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The father and daughter talking in the bedroom when he was trying to tell her, she should do something so that they notice the paper, and that conversation was a very, I don't know how many filmmakers have faith in doing such scenes where you really get into the core of the social issue. Still you want to talk about that in cinema. Normal people, they might find it very boring. So it's a very discerning, it requires a discerning viewing.
I will not speak about the content because I think it's really obvious. First, I want to thank you to make us discover this movie because I was not knowing this director. It is really amazing. And what you say about the way he was filming in the first shot, for me it's really important because it keeps this reality, close to the reality. The film doesn't seem to be like a theater, like something done. It's really human. It's really all it seems to be done by Hazard. And as a big fan of Godard, which was working like that, he would never write anything, but he was just talking to the people, to the character. Oh, now you have to do that. Oh, now you have to do that. But it's your way, and do it your way. I think it's really close to that sort of work, and it gives to the movie this sort of deepness, I would say. And the pictures are really beautiful. The lights are beautiful. All the pictures are really beautiful, but it does not seem neither to be so sophisticated. It seems to be natural. All seems to be natural. All the light seems to be natural. So you trust in the character by this way. And it's really beautiful. And all this corruption, I have a difficulty with the term of corruption because when they show it's only people who make service to one to each other. For me, corruption is with money and with big deals and things like that. Another question, what is the period of this movie? Is it the communist period or is it after the communist period?
Post 89, post Ceausescu period.
Post the communist period.
Oh, yeah. There's corruption, as you say, like the very famous quote, you can't make an omelette without breaking eggs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It has different meanings. Some people really I mean, they really used it, abused it. Like, I mean, sometimes the corruption can be in that level. To make an omelette, you have to break egg. You want to keep the egg and make an omelette. It's not.
No, it's really a beautiful movie.
I never saw the first one who got Palme d'Or at Cannes for 4 months, 3 weeks and 2 days. I didn't want because I thought it was be too strong. But yeah, this one is strong, but it's really. It reminds me of Ashghar Farhadi. Yeah, like Separation or his films. A lot of human condition. I mean, and it looks very natural.
I don't know how many of you really noticed in the narrative. As film students, we discuss those things a lot. There are a lot of scenes. Why there are those scenes? For example, he sees one of the suspect while traveling by bus. He goes after. Why there is a scene like that? And some other scene where he is really looking for that location, searching something, and he breaks down, cries. And still we don't know who the one who really has broken the window pane. I mean, these are all, actually it starts off with lots of Hitchcock films. We call it megafin, where you say something, just to divert the audience attention. Where in 4 months 3 is first film Palme d'Or winner, he uses this megafin a lot, and that quack, the doctor, takes his knife. Leaves immediately, she takes the knife. We all expect she's going to do something with the knife, going to kill him or not. But he just leaves at it. Like that, I think Christian Mingiu is really having fun, or loves playing these megafins in his narratives that I do not know. As a filmmaker, as a film teacher, I find it very, very interesting. Normal people would find it, why such scenes are there?
All these details who have no link to the story make the atmosphere. So the stressful atmosphere, you go at the beginning, I have some problem to go into the movie. But about 5-10 minutes, you catch in it. And you follow the people, because there is some event like that you don't know. And I think it's Hitchcock was saying something about that. When you're making a movie, you have to bring by hand the spectators, the place not him want to do, but the place you want him going. That's maybe the story of some horror movies or some movie like that, and they use emotion to bring the people in a certain place to see the history.
It is the corruption, it's a nepotism we see. In the beginning also he mentioned the word. So favor the knowing person to get another favor. That is, this film portrayed that, I thought. And the throwing the stone is very mystic thing. Till the end, we predict who made it. Is there any connection of the stone throwing man related to this the hustle that happened in the girl's life? Whether the same person had it, we don't know. So just the mystic things he kept. Another thing is he not replacing the pan of glass. He simply pasted it. That reflects the economic condition of a doctor. And so many things are very subtle there. So this doctor is repeatedly cutting apple and orange. But he never served anything from the lady in turn. This is very sad, because we much earlier to know about her relationship with the lady, the concubine. So much of difference of opinion. The girl will say that I will tell you how to discuss with the mummy. But we clearly understand that he much aware of it, much earlier. So that here thing is nothing secret in the world. Everybody live in the world with a passion, with their own passion. Nobody's have no ears is not to hearing so many things, not the advices and the guidelines of others. So many things are, if you take this, many frames, the single shot, I'm not so knowing each and every techniques, he prompted and tell that also. it is very appreciable on the thing. And another thing is, some of the places, the quarters of the doctor of Pondicherry is much better than this. Then I said that India is richer than Romania. So many reflection, good about, reflect what is the condition and other things are there. So that if you take the scene by scene, he will coin it and gather it and noted it very well. Get a clear meaning of how the things are going on. And the film is looking unended, but it's conveyed that everybody wanted to take something away from that. In the further posture is greener than in the nearer posture. That is the story of it, I thought.
His friend Foley's office's story, it's more interesting than though it's been a passing mention. I mean, he has to pay the alimony to his wife. He's also away from his wife. And I think he's been doing that in all his films, more so in the 4 months. The backdrop of the Romania at the time is always playing at the backyard. I mean, in the sense, though the main story is in the front, at the backdrop you always see the time and what's happening in Romania, the condition, everything. Traveling by bus, and especially that boyfriend, what a casting. Somehow you find very positive about him. More honest and nice. I don't know. Well, those who are all cross 50s, because I move with very young people every day. I get so much of energy from themselves, looking at the positive side of the young people. Actually, because they are the future. So I think whether you like it or not, we have to have faith in them. We can't do anything greater in future. Now, make them to do.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that ultimately it's so simple. Only I think young people can see that, as you said. As we keep on aging, we get corrupted. And in the end, she just said that she cried and they let her sit for a longer time and attempt all the questions. So, we tend to miss on this thing. And I think they have captured it beautifully.
That Andros, that young boy, supposed to be a special boy. Even he throws stone at the boy who's not waiting in the line. You can't do that. What should I do? Then don't be. It's not a good behavior, though. What is done is not good. At least when you're with me, don't do that. The moment you get into problems, the moment you try to control, whether with the good intentions or, I think, in a very subtle, deeper level, I think no human should control other humans. But how do we show our concern without controlling? Very difficult to answer, especially parent children. These are all the interesting points to discuss. Having come from such a difficult situation in Romania, during Ceausescu period, what a life they all went through. I don't know who's ruling now Romania. I have no idea. I think the same. That's what Ceausescu ghost is still there.
Just think about some of the things that go unanswered in the film. So I've seen this used in many films, of course, as a trope, to leave some of the questions unanswered, so that you give some food for thought to the audience to think about the movie when they are away from the movie. And just like every time I see some movie doing this, I come up with my own theories. And if I will put my theory forward, and maybe if anybody else wants to share. The stone throwing thing, which the kid does in the park, I feel was a hint to put a thought in the audience's mind, because it did for me, that he might be the one throwing the stones to break the glass of his window and his windshield. What do you think about that? Because I felt that the boy was also aware of his mother's involvement with him, and one of the theories could be that he's the one who's going in and expressing his displeasure about it, or he's not happy about this happening, so he's going to the guy's house and doing those things. And since he is so small and he can scurry into corners, he's never caught. So that's just a theory that.
Definitely, it's an interesting thought. And open ending.
Yeah.
No, this kind of open ending, where a director knows.
Yeah.
Making audience, is there anyone who finds what I really intend? What
Yeah.
the answer is that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are certain open endings because director doesn't know.
That's also true. Yeah.
Like us.
That's also true. Yeah. Absolutely.
There are two kinds of open endings. This is more of a.
Could it be like that in real life also, sometimes we come across incidents that we don't clearly understand and they're never resolved? So maybe the director wants to put in such situations where some things are never answered because the person that we are following in the movie never really got the answer for it. So we don't give the audience the extra information that, oh, this happened, but our character doesn't know about it. Could be that the audience feels the same way the character feels.
Yeah, and happen in many circumstances. No? Like we don't know if the wife knew about the relation with Sandra, no? Before. No, we don't know because something, no? It's not clear, no? What was the situation? Also, we don't know who threw the stones. Also, who raped or who tried to rape the girl, no? And what was the relation with the boyfriend? So everything is question mark, no? So quite interesting, no? The script.
Okay, that also could be that's very interesting. That's what that's the purpose of art, in the sense, if you answer everything, why do we need to be involved in art? Where make audience to feel that not only answering, not only making a statement, know whether audience will understand. Like I always quote often the Tarkovsky statement, when someone told him, at least you should make a film that people should understand. Isn't it absurd? Yes, I agree. He answered back, isn't it absurd? So if someone makes a film only to be understood,